Imagine living inside a body that quietly lies to you 1,000 times a day, muting your touch. It erases your own sounds and cancels your own tickles. Contrary to popular belief, this isn't a glitch. It's actually the only reason you stay sane. Try it right now. Just lift up your hand, reach toward your own ribs, dig your fingers into the softest, most ticklish spot you personally know. And nothing. No squirm, no laugh, no flinch. Your body flatly refuses its own hand. Why though? Because somewhere inside your skull, a silent little machine is watching your every move, every single second. It decided even before you touched yourself that this particular touch simply does not count as real. That machine has a name and a location. Once you understand what it's really doing, everything shifts. You'll never see your own body the same way again. Here's the thing, every human fails this. Every single one. Babies giggle when parents tickle their tiny feet, but never at their own fingers. Adults, grandparents, and monks, silent for many years, none of them can ever tickle themselves at all. Even remote tribes with almost no contact with the modern world respond in exactly the same way. Anthropologists have checked this reflex. It is completely universal, sitting below language, below culture, below any age. But there are two kinds of tickle, and most people confuse them. The first is called knismesis. That's the light, itchy feeling when a feather brushes your arm or a fly lands on you. You can trigger that one yourself, barely. It doesn't make you laugh, it just makes you swat. The second kind is called gargalesis. That's the deep, uncontrollable, howling tickle in your ribs, armpits, and the sides of your neck. That's the one that makes you scream with laughter and try to escape your own skin. And that one you cannot do to yourself, no matter how hard you try. No matter how fast your fingers move, the switch simply will not flip. Unless you're one specific person. Because there is a small group of patients who can tickle themselves. And what's broken in their brains is exactly what's working in yours. In psychiatric wards, doctors have long noticed something strange. Some patients with schizophrenia report that they can, in fact, tickle themselves. Their own hand on the ribs produces the full reaction, the shiver, the laugh, the flinch. Self-touch arrives loud and surprising. In 1998, neuroscientist Sarah Jane Blakemore at University College London put people inside an fMRI scanner for a strange test. She asked them to touch their palms with foam on a robotic arm, then compared what happened when the machine did it for them. The scan lit up like a city at night for external touch, but for self-touch, a specific brain region went quiet, almost dark. That region is the somatosensory cortex. It's the map of your body, the place where touch becomes conscious in your mind. And your brain, it turns out, actively dims it whenever you touch yourself. Studies show this dimming is not lazy, it is precise. Because your brain, before your finger even lands on your rib, already knows exactly what that touch will feel like. Your brain subtracts prediction from sensation. What's left is called surprise. And there is no surprise in your own hand. So what exactly is your brain predicting? And how on earth does it predict so fast? Meet the quiet hero of this story, a small wrinkled structure tucked at the back of your skull. Just above the spine sits the cerebellum. Textbooks called it the balance center. Turns out it's stranger. Scientists believe the cerebellum runs what engineers call a forward model, constantly predicting your body's next sensation. Every time your motor cortex sends a command to move a finger, curl a wrist or brush a rib, a copy of that command is quietly shipped to the cerebellum. It's called an efference copy. Think of it as a receipt of your own intention, a tiny prediction slip for what you're about to do. The cerebellum takes that receipt and, in a fraction of a second, simulates what your body will feel. It predicts the pressure, the direction, the timing, the texture, before your skin even reports back. Then, when the real sensation arrives from your skin, your brain compares the two. Prediction meets reality. It subtracts one from the other. Sensation minus prediction equals surprise, the equation your consciousness is built on. This is why you don't hear your footsteps as loud thuds, though a stranger's steps behind you make you spin. It's why you don't feel your tongue constantly touching your teeth, or the weight of your clothes seconds after dressing. Your brain has predicted all of it, subtracted all of it, and quietly silenced all of it from awareness. The same trick lets you hold a cup without crushing it. Your brain predicts weight before fingers close. It predicts the slip before it happens. Every action you take is wrapped in a bubble of prediction. Only the errors, the surprises, actually reach your awareness. Everything else your brain quietly cancels out for you. So when your finger approaches your own rib, the cerebellum has already written the entire script of that touch. Nothing new arrives, nothing surprising, nothing worth laughing at. But here's the twist. Scientists broke this system. London, 1999. Blakemore's team built what they called a tickle robot, a simple device with two arms. You grip one arm and move it. A second arm on the other side copies your motion exactly. It strokes your palm with soft foam, your rhythm, your control, only very slightly delayed in time. When delay was zero, when the robot copied you instantly, nothing happened. Your brain treated it as self-touch. But when researchers added a delay of just 200 milliseconds, something extraordinary suddenly began to occur. People felt the tickle. Their skin came alive. They laughed, they squirmed, all from their own moving hand. 200 milliseconds, a fifth of a second. That's all it took to slip past the prediction engine. They tried spatial offsets too. Move your hand left and the robot strokes you slightly to the right. Same effect. The tickle returned. Your brain, unable to line up prediction with sensation, gave up cancelling. And the moment cancellation failed, the touch suddenly felt foreign, alien, as if coming from a stranger. Which means the reason you can't tickle yourself has nothing to do with knowing it's actually your own hand. Your brain doesn't care about identity, only predictability. Make your own hand unpredictable enough and it becomes a stranger. If this is all just a prediction game, then why do we laugh at all? Why does gargalesis exist? Why did evolution wire humans to shriek when someone squeezes our ribs? Turns out, tickling is older than humans. In 2000, a neuroscientist named Jak Panksepp discovered that ordinary lab rats laugh when you tickle their bellies. Their laughter is ultrasonic, above the range of human hearing, but with the right microphone you can record it. A high, chirping giggle. And the rats come back for more. They chase the hand that tickled them. Great apes tickle too. Chimpanzee mothers tickle their infants who laugh with breathy pants that sound eerily like ours. Scientists believe laughter itself evolved from this ancient game long before jokes, long before language, long before human faces. Notice where humans are ticklish: the ribs, the neck, the armpits, the soles of the feet, the inner thighs. Every single one of those spots is a vital, undefended zone. Under the ribs sits the liver. Under the armpit runs the artery to your arm. The neck holds the carotid. The soft belly hides everything. One theory says tickling is a training exercise for defense, teaching a child to guard the body's weak points. Playful fingers teach a child to flinch, twist, protect. Laughter is the reward that keeps the game going. It builds reflexes for a future fight that, for most of us, never comes. But there's another layer. Laughter during tickling is also a submission signal. It says, "I know you could hurt me, but you won't." Tickling only feels good with someone you trust. A stranger grabbing your ribs would not make you laugh. It would make you panic. The same touch becomes joy or terror depending on who owns the hand. Tickling is a border ritual, sitting between play and threat, self and other, prediction and surprise. Your brain, that silent prediction machine, is the judge. This reveals something almost uncomfortable about your entire reality. If your brain predicts your own touch, footsteps, voice, then it's constantly predicting everything else around you too. The color of the wall, the face of your friend, the weight of morning light falling through the window. You do not experience the raw world, you experience your brain's best guess about what is out there. Neuroscientists have a name for this: predictive processing. Your brain is not a camera passively recording reality, it's a prediction engine, building a model of what should be there, updating only when reality throws a surprise. What you call seeing is really guessing corrected. Hearing, also guessing. Feeling your body, guessing, always corrected. Reality, in a literal sense, is the error signal, the difference between what you predicted and what arrived. Everything else is silent, cancelled, filtered out by the brain before it ever becomes fully conscious to you. So the boundary between you and the world, separating self from other, is not drawn by your skin. It's drawn by prediction. Anything your brain can predict from the inside, it quietly treats as self. Anything it cannot predict, it treats as other. Your own hand, moving right on schedule, is fully self. Your own hand, delayed by 200 milliseconds, is other. The border is not physical, it is computational. Tickling is the moment that border cracks. For a split second, your own body actually becomes foreign. Your own finger becomes a visitor. And you laugh, because your nervous system doesn't know what else to do. So what does this mean for you tomorrow morning when you wake up and stumble to the kitchen? It means surprise gifts feel better than expected ones, not for sentimental reasons, but for deeply neurological ones. Your prediction engine had nothing to subtract from. The full raw signal reached you at last, joy undimmed. It means you cannot scare yourself in a mirror, no matter how dark the room around you gets, because your brain has already predicted the face that will appear, even the shadow, even the tiniest movement. There is no surprise to be had inside your own reflection, ever, no matter how long you stare back. It means anxious brains, the ones that constantly overpredict threat, literally live inside a very different world. They flinch at footsteps that were never dangerous. They hear malice in tones that were never cruel. They run the same prediction machinery as everyone else, just tuned to expect harm at every turn. And so harm is what they subtract from, and harm is what they always end up finding. It also means meditation at its core is not mystical. It's a training exercise for the prediction engine. Sitting still, watching the breath, letting sensations arrive without the usual dampening. You are, gently, turning down the subtraction, letting the raw signal through. One mindful bite of an apple tastes louder than a whole meal on autopilot. You stopped predicting long enough to actually taste. And a life too routine, too predictable, literally fades from awareness. Your brain cancels it. That's why weeks blur, summers vanish, why you drive home and don't remember the drive. Small unpredictability keeps life vivid. A new street, a new song, a new hand on your ribs. Engine stumbles, and suddenly you're awake again. But one final question still haunts every neuroscientist who works on this. But here's the twist. Could a machine ever tickle itself? If prediction is the whole story, then yes. You could build a system that predicts its own actions, subtracts its own inputs, generates its own inner life. Some researchers believe this is exactly how consciousness works. You are not a soul, not a spark. You are a self-model, a prediction of a body running inside a brain that is predicting the world. Others push back. They say the body model and the self-model are not the same. Your cerebellum predicts your finger. Who is noticing the prediction worked? Who is the one right now hearing these words thinking, "That's me"? Prediction, they argue, simply cannot see itself. There must be something more to consciousness than the model. Nobody knows the answer yet, but every year machines get better at predicting themselves, and the line gets thinner. The strangest possibility is this: consciousness may be nothing more than the ultimate forward model, a prediction predicting itself, a ghost inside the loop, a guess that guesses itself. You are your brain's best guess about you, and that guess is stranger than you think. If the prediction slips even slightly, you feel yourself as a stranger. You will tickle, you will laugh. You will meet the other, and that was always your own hand. If you want to fall deeper into how your brain edits your reality, watch this next carefully. Same engine. Why you can't smell your own home the moment you walk through the door? Same prediction engine, different sense. Tell me in the comments, did the robot trick work? Ever felt a ghost tickle from your own hand? Subscribe for more quiet breakdowns of the science hiding inside your ordinary day. I read every single reply. Because your body is lying to you right now. Those lies are